You're watching The View from the Bay, live.
Okay, our next guest has 5 steps to help your husband or partner through an unemployment crisis. Now, joining us is the author of The Key to the Men's Room, What Men Talk About When Women Aren't Around. Please welcome Ken Solin. Hey, Ken, you're faking us out here.
Well, this is a topic that's actually come up in my men's group, and my book is about The Key to the Men's Room is about a men's group I started 15 years ago, and this issue of being unemployed has come up several times. What's unfortunate is that if you ask most men what their self-worth is based on, it'll end up being their net worth. So at a time like this, if somebody's out of work or they've been laid off, they don't really know how to handle it very well. And women can help men. The most important thing that women can do is help men understand who they are besides just a paycheck. So the first thing a woman can suggest to a man is what kind of husband or partner he is. Is he holding up his end of the relationship? Does he handle his responsibilities in the house? Is he supportive of his wife or girlfriend's dreams or aspirations? Is he a good dad? Does he teach his kids? Does he volunteer for his kids at school? Does he coach their teams? And also, how involved he is in his community. Is he a volunteer worker? Does he have a charity he supports? There's a lot of ways that men can define themselves besides just through a paycheck. And
now, women, just so that we can, so we can compare apples and apples. So men compare themselves by paycheck. I think no one disagrees with that. How do women do it? Do they do it by paycheck?
I think women are a little more emotionally based than that. I think they see themselves as mothers, as partners. I think women tend to see themselves as more than just a paycheck. And one of the things a woman can do for a man is to help him understand the difference between his thoughts and his feelings. His thoughts are always open for debate. Whatever you think is definitely debatable, but his feelings that's his absolute truth. And if a woman helps a man understand that, and he learns how to engage his heart, how to speak from his heart, it sort of empowers him, because he's coming from a place of complete honesty, and his absolute truth is his absolute truth. There's nothing anybody can say about that.
Now, I can see where a woman could help her husband or a partner by saying, look, you're more than just a paycheck. Just, you know, you were a manager at this level at this corporation or whatever, that you have all these other things going on. But how do you separate out the feelings, like you said, from thoughts? I mean, that's kind of...
Well, I think the easiest way is, yeah, I think when a woman, if she engages him about his situation, and he starts by saying, well, you know, I think, she can say, no, I understand your thoughts. What is it you're feeling? You know, try to separate your thoughts from your feelings in your head, so you can explain to me how you're feeling. And I think that it's a whole different conversation. If a guy says, well, you know, I think I'm a failure, and I think we're broke, and I think we're gonna have nothing but problems, that's not very helpful. If he talks about how he feels and said, you know, I feel sad, I feel desperate, that's something a woman can speak to. You can't really speak to somebody's thoughts very well at all.
You say keep communication open. Our last guest was just talking about that, and the problem that men have with that, especially at a time when all of a sudden their self-worth has gone down the drain.
Right.
And that's a pretty tough thing to do, isn't it?
It's a very tough thing to do, but it's the most important time to do it. I would suggest that women, at least on a weekly basis, just when it's quiet, or take a quiet walk, or make sure that there's no outside noise, sit down and talk about how you're feeling. What's going on with you? You're awful quiet. I know you're feeling something. I know you're thinking something, but I know you're feeling something too. Talk to me about it, because whatever you tell me, I'm going to respect that. You know, it's your feelings, and I'll always respect your feelings.
You say, you know, talk to them about joining a men's group. Most men think of their men's group as drinking down at Elliott's or... yeah,
unfortunately, yeah. I got to tell you, it's a real fast track for men. to develop themselves in an emotional way. It's a total fast track. And besides that, you develop lifelong friends. Most guys don't have too many friends. It's certainly a way to develop friends. And in my book, The Key to the Men's Room, I talk about collective male wisdom. If you have 8 men in the group and they're 40 years old, you've got over 300 years of collective experience. In 15 years of doing this work, I can't remember once anybody had an issue that somebody else hadn't already gone through. So you can get a lot of great experiential advice instead of somebody just shooting from the hip and, listen to people talking in restaurants and bars. Well, you should do this, and, based on what? Is this off the top of your head? It's a very different thing.
Based on Budweiser.
Yeah. We had a guy who was out of work. He got laid off from a Fortune 500 company, had a big job. He was out of work for a year, and he had a place to go to talk about that. We listened to him. We supported him. We're not an employment agency, but we supported him. And when he finally did get a job, or he was getting ready to take it, we supported his decision. That was important to him. And we have another guy now who's out of work, and he's been out for a while. So it's great support. Men need that from other men.
Author Ken Solin, thank you very much for joining us. Great advice.
My pleasure, Michael.